Hello my dear students, welcome back to Learn Physics. See, today also we are continuing with the kinematics exercise questions. See, in the one more day we will be doing with the kinematics portion, and after that we will start the projectile motion, because this is the 35th video or 36th video, I think, this one about kinematics. Many questions are there. Actually, first I thought of doing all the numericals which is given in the DC Pandey sir's book. Then I thought, okay, simplest one, because this many numericals we did. So now you will be able to do all the questions, I guess. Otherwise, during revisions we will be solving the other questions also. Okay dears, so we are starting with the kinematics. Now the first question is, a parachutist after bailing out falls 50 meter without friction. When parachute opens, it decelerates at 2 meter per second square and reaches the ground with a speed of 2 meter per second. At what height did he bail out? So a parachutist bails out at 50 meter without friction. So first he is falling down at a height of 50 meter, and then what is happening? The parachute is opening up, and then he started moving with the deceleration of 2 meter per second square. So after 50 meters, deceleration is 2 meter per second square, and he landed the ground with a speed of 2 meter per second, and final velocity is 2 meter per second. We need to find out the total height. When it bail out, what is the height? So here initially when it is starting, initial velocity will be equal to 0, and here 50 meter we know. And what will be the final velocity over here? That will be the initial velocity at this position. Then we need to find out this distance. Yes. After finding out this, yes, we can add that to 50 meter and find out the total height. For that, here we require the initial velocity, right? For initial velocity, we need the final velocity from the first portion. So V equals U plus AT. For that, T is not there. Instead of that, S is given. Therefore, V square equals U square plus 2AS. That formula we can substitute. And here U is 0, 2 into 9.8 into distance is 50. Okay, here we will get it as 980 meter square per second square. That is V square, or we can write it as V equals root of 980 meter per second. So that V will be acting as the initial velocity at the next portion. So initial velocity here is, for the next one, initial velocity will be root 980, and acceleration is minus 2 meter per second square, and velocity is, final velocity we got it as 2 meter per second. Therefore, V square minus U square equals 2AS. In that, 4 minus U square is 980 equals 2 minus 2 into 2 into S. Therefore, it is, we will get it as 976 divided by 4 is yes. Therefore, yes, we will get it as 976 divided by 2, 2, then 1, 17, 4 4s are 16, and then 244. 244 is the distance we are getting over here. So the total distance covered will be equal to here 50 plus 244, that is equal to 294 meters. Okay, clear? Here the answer is 293. I think this one they had given it as 10 meter, I guess. So it is 293 is given over here. So the answer is 294 meter if we are taking A as 9.8. Okay, clear? So here we should do it as a 2 parts. Next question. The velocity of a particle moving along x-axis varies with its position x as shown in figure. The acceleration of the particle varies with the position as. So velocity and position graph is given. Here it is position, here it is velocity, here it is marked 4, and here it is 2. And the graph is given like this. This is in meters and here it is in meter per second. We need to find out the acceleration displacement graph. How can we find out acceleration displacement graph? If we are getting an equation for this graph, it is easy for us to find out the acceleration. How can we write down the equation here? Since y-intercept and x-intercepts are given, we can write it as x divided by x-intercept plus y divided by, what is x, y here? It is v. V divided by y-intercept as 4 equals 1. Therefore, we are getting the equation as 4x plus 2v equals 8. Or we can write it as 2x plus v equals 4. Now, we can find out the equation of v. V equals 4 minus 2x. Therefore, dv by dt. What is dv by dt? That is acceleration. We need to find out the acceleration position graph. What will be the acceleration with respect to the position only we need to find out. Okay. So, here it is 4 as differential of a constant is 0 minus 2 into dx by dt is v. Therefore, minus 2 into what is v here? 4 minus 2x. Therefore, minus 8 plus 4x. 4x minus 8 will be the acceleration. Acceleration is 4x minus 8. Yes, here its answer is D. A equals 4x minus 8. Clear? Next question is, a car A moves along north with velocity 30 km per hour and another car B moves along east with a velocity of 40 km per hour. Relative velocity of A with respect to B is. So, a car A is moving along north. So, A is moving along north with a velocity of 30 km per hour and another car moves along east with velocity 40 km per hour. We need to find out the relative velocity of A with respect to B. Here, when you are checking your answers, options, it's given 50 km per hour northeast, 50 km per hour northwest, 50 km per hour angle tan inverse 3 by 4 north of west. So, all the options, the relative velocity value is same. Only the direction is different. So, while you are doing your, for your entrance exam when you are considering, you can no need to find out the value. That is, relative velocity magnitude will be anyway 50 km per hour only, because in all the options the value is the relative velocity magnitude is same. So, you can no need to find out over there. Here we will find out, since it's a revision class, we will find out. But during your exam time, entrance exam time, no need to find out the answer, no need to find out the magnitude, only direction is different over here, that only you need to check. Okay. So, it's moving, A is moving towards north and B is moving towards east. Relative velocity means VA minus VB. So, if I am finding out the resultant vector of A and B over here, I will get it as VA plus VB. But here the question is, we need to find out VA minus VB. For that, we can find out the velocity along the negative direction. So, A is, we are getting it as 30 km per hour, it's given like that. So, minus VB, in which direction it will be? Opposite direction. That is, we are choosing it as VA plus minus VB. Therefore, it is minus 40 km per hour. Okay, B is in the opposite direction. Now you can find out the resultant. So, resultant will be acting like this. Okay. So, here resultant vector, how can we find out? VAB will be equal to root of 40 square plus 30 square. Therefore, it is equal to 16,000 plus 90,000, that is equal to 2500. So, it will be 50 km per hour. Okay. So, 4 square 16, 3 square 9, 25, then 2 zeros. 50 km per hour we are getting. Now, direction. Direction, here if I am considering this one, here as theta theta will be with the vertical, that is velocity of BA with respect to B only it is asked, right? So here we can write it as what is tan theta here? Tan theta will be equal to 30 divided by 40. So theta equals tan inverse 3 by 4 north of west. Okay, so it is starting from west towards north. So it is tan inverse 3 by 4 north of west as answer. So here the option is tan inverse 3 by 4 north of west. It's C, option C. Okay, so usually children will be confused how to take this angle and how to represent this one. So it is north, we are moving from B, it is theta angle towards the north side. From west, it is theta angle towards north side. North of west, that is theta is tan inverse 3 by 4 of north of west. Clear how we are writing down this direction? Next question. Rain is falling vertically down with a velocity of 4 meter per second. So rain is falling down with a velocity of 4 meter per second. A man is moving horizontally with a velocity of 3 meter per second. So man is moving horizontally with a speed of 3 meter per second. Now we need velocity of the rain with respect to man is. So how can we find out the velocity of rain with respect to man? Vr minus Vm. Right? So we need to find out the negative of Vm, that is 4 in this direction only, 3 minus 3. In the opposite direction, Vr minus Vm will be equal to, what is Vr minus Vm? We can take the resultant. So 9 plus 16, that is equal to 5 meter per second. So what will be the direction if we are considering? How can we find out the direction if I am taking this as theta? With the vertical, if I am considering tan inverse 3 by 4, opposite side divided by with the vertical, okay, towards the west side. Okay, here next is here towards, no, it's tan inverse 3 by 4 with the vertical. B is correct. Here with the horizontal also it's asked. Okay, so here with the vertical and along with the horizontal, if I am considering, how will I get it? Tan inverse with the horizontal. Tan inverse, what is that? 4 by 3. That is opposite side divided by adjacent side with the horizontal. Because in the options, both the answers are given. Tan inverse 3 by 4 with respect to the vertical or tan inverse 4 by 3 with respect to the horizontal. Any one you can write down. So here the options are tan inverse 4 by 3 with the horizontal, tan inverse 3 by 4 with the vertical, tan inverse 4 by 3 with the vertical, both A and B. So here these two answers are given and separately, and another option both A and B are also given. So we can go for that option, both A and B. Clear? 5 meter per second. A ship is travelling due east at a speed of 15 km per hour. So ship is travelling due east at a speed of 15 km per hour. Find the speed of the boat heading 30 degree east of north. So a boat is moving 30 degree east of north if it appears always due north from the ship. From the ship, if we are observing that boat is always moving in the north direction, velocity of boat with respect to the ship. But actually it is heading 30 degree east of north. That is from north it is at an angle 30 degree. Right? This is velocity of the boat. We need to find out the velocity of the boat. How can we find out the velocity here? Here I am dividing this. This is 30 degree and this is VB. Okay, so if I am dividing this into two components, how can I divide this into component? VB is along this direction and VB is along this direction and this direction, right? So this is VBS. VB, I am dividing it into its two components. VBS will be equal to V cos 30 and VS will be equal to V sin 30. Right, so here Vs is equal to Vb sin 30, this is Vb cos 30. From this we can write it as Vs is 15, Vb into sin 30 is 1 by 2, therefore Vb we are getting it as 30 km per hour. This is easy, only thing is you should understand here this is the angle east of north. So from north it is 30 degree. Okay, VB we are dividing it into two components. One is cos component and the other is sin component. Since VB's value is not given, we can't use this one. We can go for this equation. Okay, Vs is given, therefore Vs is equal to Vb sin 30. Clear? So the next one is, a man takes 3 hours to cover a certain distance along the floor and takes 6 hours to cross the same distance opposite to the floor. In how much time he will cross this distance in still water? So a man takes 3 hours to cover a certain distance along the flow of river. So say man is moving with the velocity v. This is the velocity of the man, Vm. Okay, and river is also moving in the same direction, velocity of the river. Then he is taking 3 hours to cover this. 3 hours. Now here and takes 6 hours to cover the same distance to opposite to flow. So man is moving in this direction. River is in the opposite direction, then it is taking 6 hours. So in how much time he will cross this distance in still water? So we need to find out the time required in still water. Okay, so usually time how will we find out? Velocity, distance divided by, velocity equals distance divided by time. Right, so time will be equal to distance divided by velocity of the man. So here we need to find out the velocity of the man. How can we find out? Here, if suppose d is this distance is d, then from the first one, we can write it as time t1, 3 hours will be equal to distance traveled divided by velocity. Since both are in the same direction, it will be Vm plus Vr. Next, it is here in the second case. Here we are considering 6 hours will be with the same distance but opposite direction. Therefore, Vm minus Vr. So how can we can solve this? How can we solve this? See, Vm plus Vr, we can write it as d by 3 and Vm minus Vr, we can write it as d by 6. So when we are adding these two, we will get it as 2 Vm will be equal to d by 3 plus d by 6. Therefore, it will be equal to 3d divided by 6. So here Vm will be equal to d by 4. We are getting it as Vm as d by 4. Okay, now we can substitute that value over here. T equals d divided by Vm, we already got it as d by 4. Therefore, it will be equal to 4 hours. Time required as 4 hours. So here man is moving same direction as that of river. Then the net velocity will be Vm plus Vr. Here man is moving opposite to the direction of river. So Vm minus Vr will be the net velocity. While solving these two, we will find out the velocity of the man. Here we need to find out the time taken by the man if he is moving in still water. Okay, so velocity of the river, no need to consider. So here we can find out distance divided by velocity as 4 hours. Clear? Next question is, a river 500 meter wide is flowing at a rate of 4 meter per second. So the river is 500 meter wide and the river is flowing 500 meter wide and the river is flowing with a speed of 4 meter per second. A boat is sailing at a velocity of 10 meter per second with respect to water. So, velocity of the boat with respect to the river will be equal to 10 meter per second in a direction perpendicular to the direction of river. So, velocity of boat with respect to river is perpendicular. Time taken by the boat to reach the opposite bank. So, here river velocity is like this, 4 meter per second. Boat is moving in this direction, okay, perpendicular, 4 meter per second. Okay, 10 meter per second is the velocity of the boat with respect to the river. Here we need to find out the time taken by the boat to reach the opposite end. Okay, this is the width 500 meters. Here distance covered is given and the velocity also, the velocity of the boat with respect to the river only given, not the velocity of the boat alone. If the velocity of the boat alone is given, we need to find out VBR. So here instead of that, VBR only is given. So here we can find out the velocity equals displacement divided by time. Therefore time equals displacement is 500 divided by 10. It is equal to 50 seconds. Okay, clear? So velocity of the boat with respect to river only it's given, no other confusions. Okay dears, so that's all for today. In next class we will be continuing the rest of the questions. Some more questions we will discuss about the kinematics. Okay, if you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you for watching. Bye.